Yeah, it wouldn't be a weekend recap if we didn't talk about the biggest news story, the biggest bombshell of the weekend. That was Mississippi State. I mean, this whole coaching saga has gone on for a month, right? They fire, they let go of their head coach, Chris Lemonis before the Kentucky series, the Monday after a series loss to, was it who'd they lose that series to?
Oh,
Uh, Mississippi State. What series loss caused them to fire Lemonis? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Anyways, it was the weekend. It was the week before they played Kentucky, right? They get rid of Lemonis, who had given them a national championship, led them to their first. That's the athletic department's first national championship, and they fire him 3 weeks before the regular season ends. They wait an entire month. They keep everything hush hush. We
Auburn.
saw the maybe it was Auburn. So we saw the initial list of candidates from everybody out there in the media space, and then nothing for an entire month. Then all of a sudden, on Friday of the regional, your team's about to go out there and play a baseball game against Northeastern, who was a 27-game win streak, and it gets leaked that Brian O'Connor's the front runner and is ultimately going to take the job at the end of the season. What are we doing? Mississippi State athletic department purposely tried to tank the entire year of Mississippi State. They go on a run to finish the year. They get in the NCAA tournament as a 3 seed. They win the game the day of this news against Northeastern. I am so impressed by the Bulldogs roster this year to play through all of that adversity. As the athletic director Zach Selman and whoever else part of that brass was on a flight to Charlottesville during the 7th inning of the game to go get Brian O'Connor. They chalked it up like the game was over. They were actively rooting for the team to lose. That way they could go and get Brian O'Connor. The timeline of this just seems very, very, very peculiar and disappointing. But am I surprised? No. Johnny, I think this was a home run hire for Mississippi State. I'm not ridiculing the hire whatsoever. I
It
think
was
that what Brian O'Connor has done at Virginia and built that program into a monster where it previously was not is an incredible job. It is the ACC's only national title in 70 years.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a hire, and I think he's going to do really good things for like a 10-year span until he retires, maybe 8. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, man. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it. There's a reason why he was at Virginia for over 20 years. He is the face of Virginia baseball. I mean, what was that program before he got there? And look how many stars, look how many MLB players he's turned out. I mean, this guy's had so much success. And listen, I was big on Virginia coming into the year, and I don't think a lot fell their way. I think just some injuries happened, and a couple guys that they were expecting to be good, especially on the mound, weren't. It didn't seem like UVA was focused coming out of this year, and you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Like, I have no idea if Brian O'Connor came into this year thinking it was his last and maybe the energy was off. I don't know, because I'm not in the building. It just, something seemed off about UVA this year, and we both agree that they should have been in. I really liked them coming into this year. But in any case, Brian O'Connor is bolting to Mississippi State. I think this is the hire, man. Like, there wasn't a better guy to go get if you're Mississippi State. You get rid of Chris Lemonis, who did deliver you a 2021 title run. And I was honestly calling for Lemonis to go last year. I don't like to do that, but just watching Mississippi State, I thought they needed a change. I thought this program, considering how great it is and how much potential it has, the resources they have, which is something that Brian O'Connor didn't have nearly enough of at UVA, is going to have unlimited funds and whatever the hell he wants at this program down in Starkville. So it's a home run hire. I expect him to get to work right away, dude. And I think, like a lot of people, that Mississippi State will be a big player next year. I think they're going to get back to being a team that's going to be a force to be reckoned with. What I wonder is who comes over with him from UVA. Does he bring Aiden Teal? Does he bring Henry Ford? I know some of the people in our group chat think Ford's going to go to the draft.
Yeah,
I personally think he could benefit from another year because I thought Ford was a first rounder coming in, and I don't think he's going to be. I think another year of seasoning is something that Ford could use. But in any case,
Ford's a homegrown kid though in Virginia, Charlottesville. Like he was a Virginia fan, went to the College World Series that they
listen,
won.
I get it, man, but it's a business decision. It's a business decision. I get it. He could stay. He could go to the draft. I totally understand. I'm just saying, like, potential, like who comes with him, and then furthermore, I've seen on Twitter, but like this was already kind of going on for the past week, that Cory Mscara, the pitching coach from Wake Forest, is going to come with him. Like Cory Mscara is one of the key founders and instrumental parts of the Wake pitching lab. Like 2 years ago, Wake Forest pitching took over the sport. And the biggest thing from that pitching staff was the pitching lab. And then from that point on, everybody's got a pitching lab. And so people are like, well, this program had a pitching lab before, but like, no, not like this. Not like what Wake Forest has. Now there's more programs coming out, and Cory Mscara is the architect or one of the key architects of that. So like, listen, we're talking about Max Wiener as maybe the top pitching coach in the country. Cory Mscara is very high on that list. Cory Mscara, I don't think there's three better pitching coaches in the country than Cory Mscara, despite what Wake Forest pitching was this year in terms of a down year. Mscara is going to come in and recruit some big names right away, dude. I mean, we've seen some, like last year, we saw some dogs at Mississippi State. My boy Gerangelo, Cal Steven, Nate Dom before he went down, among a bunch of other guys. So
yeah,
this is a great hire, Noah. Mscara coming in. Now, what I wonder is the Wake freshmen or some of the Wake pitchers, do they follow Mscara? I got a kid up from my neck of the wood that's going to Wake next year. Does he decommit and transfer over or commit to Mississippi State? There's a bunch of questions. Cory Mscara is a St. John's guy. He was actually there when I was there, not in school, but he was a coach when I was there. So I think Mscara is a fantastic get as well. He, along with Brian O'Connor, can make Mississippi State a real big player next year. I think it's a no doubt hire. It's like a no-brainer grand slam home run hire for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, dude, you were mentioning and wondering who he was going to bring with him. I mean, you're already kind of seeing that. Kevin McMillan, rumored to join Brian O'Connor. He's been the longtime, right-hand man of O'Connor at Virginia. He's been there every step of the way. And also the other one who his name, I'm trying to find it right now. Kendall Rogers put it out earlier. Both of his top assistants are joining him in Starkville. So yeah, it's going to be a total rebuild in Virginia, which is unfortunate. Everything that we saw with Texas A&M when Jim Schlossnagle, joined and took the Texas job, expect to see that with the Virginia roster. Everybody's going to be entering the portal right now. Bradley Hodges is already in there. He was the midweek reliever or midweek starter for Virginia this year. That's a solid arm, and now is available for anybody to reach out to and contact. And yeah, that's I don't know.